Sir, I was surprised to hear the arguments and observations from the Treasury benches that it is going to make drastic changes in the maritime sector because ample business opportunities will be provided after passing of this bill. Sir, there is nothing to oppose or nothing to support in this bill. Rightly, the honourable member has observed in his opening remarks that it is a repeal and reenactment of a pre-independent legislation. But I would like to add two more words to along with this. It is a repeal and reenactment of a pre-independent legislation without any changes and without any reforms to the tune of the time. What is the scope of this legislation? Sir, the pre-independent legislation was Indian Bills of Lading 1856. It is a law that governs the transfer of goods shipped by the sea. It defines the rights and liabilities of carriers and consignees. And I have gone through the Indian Bills of Lading 1856. So the same bill, same provisions, and the contents, everything is the same. Then what is the scope of bringing a new bill without any changes in order to suit with the situation, in order to suit with the new liberalized economic era? Because this bill is enacted in the year 1856. That is 170 years ago, this bill was passed by the British legislature or British India government. And even now, after 170 years, the government of India, led by Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, and even the Port Minister also has spoken in his opening remarks that 1,500 obsolete legislations has already been repealed. And we want to decolonize the legislations, as in the case of IPC, Criminal Procedure Code, and Indian Evidence Act, but copying it in a different form. Nothing else is there. There is no in-depth wisdom is not being put on the legislation. That is the reason by which I am saying there is nothing new so as to oppose or so as to support the bill. Sir, only one new provision has been incorporated in the bill, that is clause 5 of the bill. Sir, what is clause 5 of the bill? The central government may give such directions as it may deem necessary for carrying out all or any of the provisions of the bill. So other than this, the entire provisions are the same. There are three clauses mainly. Number one is rights under bill in loading west in consignee or endorsee. And the second one is no right of stoppage in transit and right to claim freight against the original shipper or owner. And the third point is regarding the bills of lading in the hands of a consignee is a conclusive evidence of the shipment as against the master. This is the content of the bill 1856 as well as 2025 bill is same provision, same content, nothing is doing. So my pertinent question I would like to ask to the Honourable Minister, you have incorporated a new provision clause 5 that the government of India is empowered to give directions from time to time as it deems necessary, either for all the provisions, for implementing either all the provisions or any of the provisions of the bill. So I would like to know from the Honourable Minister, even if there is no such provision in the bill, a bill passed by the Parliament, Government of India is empowered to give directions so as to implement the provisions of the bill. It is implied. There is no need of an explicit provision in the bill that the government can give directions for the implementation of the provisions of the bill. So what is the purpose of incorporating a new provision clause 5 in the bill? Just to show that we have reformed the bill. That is the only reason why we say new bill has been brought in. Otherwise you have to come with so many changes. Sir, I have got 5 suggestions. Let me conclude this positive, very concrete positive suggestions. So the number one is the lack of adequate safeguards for Indian exporters and importers. Sir, bills of lading are one of the most essential documents in international trade, as they serve as both the receipt for goods and the title to the goods being shipped. However, the provisions under the bill fails to provide adequate safeguards to Indian exporters and importers, the backbone of the country's trade sector. Sir, exporters who are primarily small and medium-sized business in India often lack the resources of bargaining power to negotiate the terms of international shipping contracts. While the bill introduces several standardization measures, It does not address the challenges faced by the Indian exporters in avoiding fraudulent practices, especially when dealing with the foreign shipping companies and agents. So I suggest a special provision for Indian exporters to have stronger legal recourse in case of disputes involving bill of lading, particularly in relation to foreign shipping companies. This could include establishing a dispute resolution mechanism specifically aimed at protecting the Indian interest. That is the first suggestion. Sir, 5 suggestions. It's very positive suggestions. And the second one is regarding the potential for increase the cost of doing business. Sir, the bill, there is a lack of clarity on the regulatory framework that will govern the fees and charges related to bills of lading. The bill potentially opens the door for increased fees and charges associated with the issuance, transfer and please 2 minutes. Issuance, transfer and negotiation of these documents. These costs could place additional financial burden on Indian businesses, particularly the export and import. So my point is that the cost competitiveness is a critical for Indian business to succeed in the global market. So sir, I suggest a regulatory cap on fees and charges for bills of lading, ensuring that this do not unduly burden the Indian MSMEs. And the third suggestion, sir, regarding the maritime sector and the carriage of goods seized by the sea. There is another bill is also carriage of goods by sea bill. Sir, there are provisions there are contradictory provisions are also there. So I would like to urge upon the minister, kindly go that there shall not be a contradiction with these two bills. And the fourth one is very important suggestion, that is the technological advancements and the digital bills of lading. Sir, this is the most modern era of communication technology, even the artificial intelligence era. Sir, the issue is, it is limited focus is there on the digital transformation of the maritime industry. In an era of rapidly advancing technology, the electronic bills of lading, the use of electronic bills of lading has become the global standard in international trade. Several countries, including major trading nations like United States, Singapore, UK, have already embraced digitalization in the shipping sector. India, however, has lagged behind this area. The bill makes, sir, 1 second. The bill makes only passing mention of the electronic bills of lading and fails to provide a robust framework for their adoption and regulation. The lack of clarity in digital bills of lading could make India's maritime industry less attractive to international shippers and importers who increasingly prefer the speed, security and efficiency of digital solution. Sir, with these suggestions, I make 2 points, that is regarding the Vizhinjam International Seaport Limited. There was a commitment on the part of the government of India that after the completion of the Vizhinjam International Seaport Limited, there is an commitment on the part of the government of India that viability gap funding will be provided to the Vizhinjam International Port. But now the government of India is withdrawing from their commitment to provide the VGF. That has to be taken into consideration. And the last point, sir, regarding my constituency, there is a Kollam Port Honorable Minister, Mr. Suresh Gopi is also sitting. He is also from my constituency. He is born and brought from my place, and we studied with me in my college, and he is well aware of this fact. Sir, my point is that is Kollam Port, it has started since long. Unfortunately, it is not been operational. Yes, the government of India clearance has been given. There is a, sir, 1 second. There is a Minikoi to Kollam ship travel possibility is there from Lakshadweep. That may be considered. With these points, I in a way support the bill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sri Nishikant bhai.